What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. We got Frank Martin in the news, bro. Frank Martin and Devin Haney mostly really Devin Haney going back at it with Frank Martin. Frank Martin recently did an interview stating that he's ready for all the top names in his division. And word got back to Devin Haney. Devin Haney responds, so you know how I do it, man. All right, before we even get started, man, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let's go ahead and get into this and let's see what Frank Martin had to say, and then we'll talk about the response of Devin Haney, and then of course I'm gonna give my opinion on it. All right, so shout out to boxingscene.com. You know, they have an interview with Frank Martin where he's mostly speaking on the Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia fight, but that's, you know, this is not that type of video. We want to really get into that fight. We want to talk about what Frank Martin has to say. It says the lightweight limit of 135 pounds is loaded with talent. Martin is ready and willing to face the biggest names in the weight class, including Tank Shakur Stevenson and undisputed champion Devin Haney. So this is what Frank Martin has to say. He says, I'm right there, man. Whoever gives me the opportunity, I'm not ducking nobody. There's no let's get him ready. I'm ready for them right now. If they want to give me an opportunity, I'm going to show them what I can do. I'm ready for them right now, Martin says. There are a lot of fighters right now that's good at 135. You can't really say who's the best until everybody gets in there with each other. Then you can say who is the best. So that was the words from Frank Martin. So let's talk about this for a second, all right? So Devin Haney then responds. He says, well, Boxing Scene says they post a tweet saying Frank Martin feels like he's ready for Tank, Stevenson, Haney. And Devin Haney responds and says he's old as ish. He should be, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I like Devin Haney a lot, but Frank Martin is only 28 years old. That's not old at all. But then a fan comes back and replies, and he says, dog, Loma is 7 years older than Frank Martin because Loma's 35. Then Tank responds and says, and has been in big fights since he was 23/24. So, you know, let's go ahead and get started, man. First and foremost, as I stated earlier, 135 is definitely a stacked division or whatnot. And although my favorite fighter is Gervonta Davis at 135, you know, you can't Tank is the biggest star, yes, but Devin Haney is ranked #1 at that division. Devin Haney has all the belts, whether you want to admit it or not. I mean, and again, I like Devin Haney. I like Devin Haney a lot, actually. Many people feel like Shakur is the best fighter. Tank is the biggest name. And Devin Haney is he's the top. He's at the top of the division because he has all the belts. Now, this is why it's so important for these guys to fight each other, because I remember having a conversation with my boy. My boy is a tremendous Devin Haney fan, and so am I. Don't get it twisted. I'm definitely rooting for Devin Haney against Vasily Lomachenko. But you know, I understand that that's a very tough matchup because I got nothing but love and respect for Vasily Lomachenko as well. But anyways, but he's a big Devin Haney fan, and he was saying, you know, Devin Haney's the best. And I was, you know, telling him, nah, I mean, listen, yes, Devin Haney is the top dog at 135. He is the man at 135. He's undisputed. He has all the belts. But it's crazy because even though Devin Haney has all the belts, we do not know who the best is at 135, because that's why, I mean, because of so many fights that have not happened. Yes, Tank versus Ryan Garcia happened, but technically Ryan is officially a lightweight now. So Ryan kind of is not a factor at 135 anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really say that fight, even though that was a highly anticipated matchup with Tank and Ryan Garcia, I can't really necessarily say that edged Tank as the closer to being the best at that division, because it really didn't. We don't know who the best is. All right. Well, I mean, technically you have to say Devin Haney because he has all the belts, but as far as, you know, these fights, we don't know who the best out of all these fighters is. You got Devin Haney, you got Tank Davis, you got Shakur Stevenson, you got Frank Martin, you know, you got Keyshawn Davis. Like, you know, you have all these guys, and it's up for grab. Now, I do feel like the lead runners in this division is definitely Devin Haney, Tank Davis, and Shakur Stevens, right? I definitely feel like Like those are the lead runners, the front runners, should I say. But ultimately, I really don't know. You know, I can't say who the best is. But that's why it's up to us fans to like push it, because even though I just named all these top fighters, bro, a lot of them are on separate networks, which makes it harder. Now, I definitely will say this, because even I can't, and you know, forgive me, I did miss out on Lomachenko when I just named all the top guys. Obviously, Lomachenko is a top dog as well. And so I think Haney versus Lomachenko puts it, you know, the winner of that fight in the lead for who's the best, even though ultimately you would have no debate in saying who the best is, because the winner of that fight would have all the belts. But as far as the eye test it goes, we would have to put them at the lead or whatnot. But you do have Shakur with top rank, Devin Haney with top rank, Lomachenko with top rank, right? Then you have Tank Davis with the PBC. You got Frank Martin with the PBC. So, you know, you got Isaac Cruz. That's another name that I would like to see in there with all these guys. You got Isaac Cruz with the PBC. You know, so I mean, things, man. Look, you got Frank Martin with top rank. So it's like more so 135 is more so battling with top rank versus PBC as to seeing who's gonna catch the throne. But as of right now, you have, like I stated, like I'm gonna continue to state, Devin Haney is the best at 135 because he has all the belts, or he's the top dog, the number one fighter at 135. Now, with that being said, once you have all the belts, man, you gotta understand, bro, everybody's gonna be gunning for you, right? Now, and unfortunately for Devin Haney, this is a good thing, because at one point, at one particular time, Devin Haney really couldn't get any fights. And like I stated, as much as I love Tank Davis is my favorite at 135, but it is Tank Davis, or Mayweather at least, Mayweather promote TMT, Leonard Ellaby, they didn't want to put Tank Davis in there with Devin Haney. Devin Haney couldn't get a fight with Lomachenko. He was actually rated number 1 in the WBC. Lomachenko, according to Mauricio Suleiman, asked to be elevated to franchise, which then, you know, kind of stripped, you know, Devin Haney, you know, a chance to prove his greatness in fighting Lomachenko. So, you know, he couldn't get the fight with Lomachenko. Teofimo at the time was at 135. Teofimo claimed that he was gonna, at first he didn't seem like he wanted to fight Devin Haney, but then he claimed he was gonna fight Devin Haney after his fight with George Kambosos, which is another name that we can throw in there. I mean, I think that George Kambosos is more so at the bottom of the totem pole, but, you know, it's all good. We can throw his name in there. But Devin Haney ends up, or Teofimo ends up losing to George Kambosos, and which George Kambosos then stated he would fight Devin Haney for the, you know, undisputed champion, because again, like I always stated, and I've always been firm on this, I don't consider Teofimo to be undisputed at 135. He was a unified champion, but not undisputed. So even George Kambosos, though, at first was trying to make a fight with Lomachenko, but because of the war that was going on in the Ukraine or whatever, that didn't happen. So then George Kambosos ended up making a fight with Devin Haney. So now we're back here, right? So ultimately, like I said, Frank Martin, bro, I really would love to see Frank Martin. You know, he proved himself against Michel Rivera, who was another big name at 135. You know, but he proved himself to be a threat at 135. So I definitely would love to see him step up. Now, personally, I don't want to see Frank Martin. I wouldn't want to see Frank Martin fight the Tank or the winner of Lomachenko versus Devin Haney next, because personally, I want to see Tank fight the winner of Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. But I would definitely love to see Frank Martin in there with an Isaac Cruz. I would love to see him. I know that him versus Keyshawn Davis is not going to happen because of, you know, promotional. It's not big enough for PBC and top rank to join each other. It's just not, you know, it's not really big enough for that fight to happen. But maybe, you know, Jermaine Ortiz, I like to see him in there, even though Jermaine Ortiz is with Top Rank, or hell, I like to see Keyshawn Davis in there with Jermaine Ortiz. But I would like to see Frank Martin in there with some of these big guys that I've mentioned. Just right now, I don't want to see him in there with Devin Haney or Tank Davis right now, because I really want that fight. That's the ultimate fight that I want. I want to see Devin Haney versus Tank Davis this year. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we can get that fight made. But still, man, the 135 division is stacked, all right? It is definitely stacked, and we definitely need to get these fights, all right? Let me know what you guys think. What fight would you like to see next? What do you want to see from Frank Martin? What do you want to see from Devin Haney? Like, comment, subscribe, but what do I know?